Rose.
The biggest baddie herself.
Again, we have Rose.
Can you tell us who the woman in the picture is?
Oh, yes. The woman in the picture is me.
Hey, Pretty Pumpkins. We're back. We'll be putting the characters of Titanic in 1997 into tears. Why is this horror channel covering Titanic? Well, I would say it's because Titanic is a romance turned horror.
100%. Titanic is one of the most horrifying movies I have ever seen in my life. I feel like Titanic makes me feel more than any horror movie ever could. Like horror emotions, not just like the sadness, but like the thrill and the anxiety and the desperation to get out of the situation. I definitely agree that this is the best picture winner as well. It truly is just like such a masterpiece. Just watching it, like seeing it all come together, the acting, which the performances are just like so incredible, which we'll talk about in a second. Literally every single aspect of this movie is perfect.
James Cameron did that, okay.
James Cameron is my daddy for life.
And I love it.
This is actually a new tier that we have implemented, so why don't you go ahead and tell them about our new tier system?
Yes. Okay, so bottom tier is Loathe Entirely. These are the people that we can't stand. Next we have Not Our Fave, which is obviously not our favorite, but not so terrible that they deserve to be in the very bottom. And then we have Slays, which is pretty great, maybe not the absolute like best characters in the film, but still someone you can root for. We have No Choice But to Stan, which are, you know, the people that we love to root for them, we stan. And the new tier that we have is the Holy Trinity, which is going to be the very top 3, just because I feel like we always put a lot of people in No Choice But to Stan, and so we wanted to just up the ante a little bit, so now we have a new tier.
I'm so excited to see who the Holy Trinity of Titanic is. So why don't we go ahead and get started by adding Rose
yes.
into the Holy Trinity.
Hold up, they don't love you like I love you. Slow down.
There's no way that Rose doesn't end up in the Holy Trinity.
From literally trying to off herself to falling in love with Jack Dawson to surviving and being the final girl of the Titanic.
The it girl.
She did that.
She's an icon.
Kate Winslet. Oh, God, Queen, worship you.
100%. This is one of the best film performances of all time, in my opinion. She should have won the Oscar.
She should have won the Oscar. Oh my God. Literally just so devastated she didn't. But you know what? She has this iconic performance under her belt, and she won my heart.
It catapulted her career into stardom so that she could get her Oscar down the road. So like, I'm glad she has one now, but it hurts me a little bit that she did not win an Oscar for this movie. This character just is so complex. There's so many layers. She is forced into this life, but she really just wants to be a free spirit. And I feel like Kate does such a great job of giving us both of those personas and showing her internal struggle. Oh, I just like, I could talk about her for literally ever.
I mean, she's a little baddie.
She is a baddie.
You saw her in the drawing. You saw her in the car.
You saw her spit in a motherfucker's face.
She hopped a loogie in Cal's face.
That was the moment that I was like, there is no better performance than this one.
She would rather be Jack's whore than Cal's wife. Girl.
That line alone, I think about that line all the time. Rent free in my head.
My favorite.
We love Rose. It's so sad too. Like just, oh my God, when she's saying Jack at the end, you know, I cannot keep it together. Just like the way her voice is cracking in that moment, you just feel so sad for Rose.
But Rose is a survivor. She had the strength to get up off that floating piece of wood, get the whistle, and save her fucking life. Okay? She was not gonna let Jack die in vain.
No. I love her. Yeah. Holy Trinity, no doubt in my mind that she ends up in the top 3.
Next, we have the iconic Jack Dawson, and I'm putting him in Holy Trinity.
Yes.
Just hit it really hard and really fast.
I mean, how can you not have Rose and Jack in the Holy Trinity?
Oh my God, Jack he got lucky. He won some tickets to the Titanic. He falls in love. Leonardo Dicaprio as Jack Dawson is one of my favorite performances. That's when I knew I was gay. I wanted to be Rose, and I wanted to marry Jack.
How could you not want to marry Jack?
Oh my God.
Even little straight boys are watching this movie obsessing over Jack. I promise.
Oh yeah.
Every man wants to be Jack, be in Jack, or be on Jack.
Truth.
Yeah. Listen, Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor of all time, and this movie is a huge reason why. He's so effortlessly free-spirited and
Beautiful.
Lovely and gorgeous and
Wonderful.
stunning and sweet. Oh my
Kind.
God. Jack Dawson is that bitch.
He is. He saved Rose's life time and time again.
Time,
Just-
countless. And I mean, listen, she did save his life too. So we have to give them both
She
credit
did.
for the
Oh my
life
God.
saving. She did.
Literally-
She could have cut his arm off, but she didn't do it.
She axed him out of those handcuffs
Exactly.
when Lovejoy and Cal put him down there and tried to kill him.
I love a survivor.
He doesn't survive
for long.
the story, but he does come back to her in her dreams. So
Mm.
every night.
The ending of this movie, I said this on Twitter the other day. I believe that this is the best movie ending of all time.
Oh, sure.
It gives me just full body chills.
Oh.
Seeing them reunited, embracing, everyone is around them. They're all glowing. It's just like, it is truly so emotional. And it's because of Kate and Leo, but it's also because of Rose and Jack.
You're gonna make
Like,
me cry.
I am about to tear up just thinking about it because I love them so much.
Next up, we have Rose.
The biggest baddie herself.
Again, we have Rose.
Can you tell us who the woman in the picture is?
Oh, yes. The woman in the picture is me.
Hold up.
I say put Rose in the Holy Trinity for now. Listen, I love old Rose, okay? She comes in, she commands their attention for 3 hours, she takes the heart of the ocean, and she drops that shit at the bottom of the sea. And she doesn't give a fuck about it.
She finds her resting spot.
Oh my God, and then she fucking dies. But it's so cathartic because she's
It is.
been thinking about him every single day for what is it, like
84 years.
84, yeah, duh, it's been 84 years. She hasn't even had a picture of him. Like, everything she knows about him is in
my
her
God.
mind.
When she says, I don't even have a picture of him, he exists only in my memories.
Oh, my heart breaks.
Bitch, are you kidding me? Like, oh.
But I guarantee you he is still crystal clear in her mind.
Oh, how could he not be?
So I just love Old Rose. I think that this movie would be nothing without her or Gloria Stewart's performance.
And of course, she also was nominated for an Oscar for her performance.
Well deserved,
What a beautiful soul.
literally. And also, we never said, but Leo deserved an Oscar nomination. I'm not sure how this movie had like 14 Oscar nominations, and Leo was not one of them. Time to move on.
Next up, we have Cal. Loathe entirely. Literally, fuck Cal.
Who?
I can't stand this man. He's a piece of shit. He's garbage.
Oh, at first he doesn't seem that bad, and then he gets worse and worse and worse. So that moment where he finally takes a loogie to the face is just like such a release.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like the cheer moment of the movie.
Like, dude, let it go.
Dude, just give it up.
Literally, the fact he chases them down into the boat with a gun trying to kill them. For
It's
what?
so weird. Like,
For what?
the boat is sinking. Get yourself to safety and stop worrying about them. It's just like, it's honestly like a little pathetic
is
and
pathetic.
concerning. Also, she's obviously stunning, gorgeous, has a great personality, but I don't believe that he sees that personality in her. So I'm wondering why he's so obsessed with being with her, because she doesn't have any money. She doesn't really have anything she can offer him.
She's obviously not interested in him.
Like, she doesn't even try to pretend like she wants to be with him.
Nope.
And he doesn't care.
And then in the end, he literally steals a child and pretends it's his so he can get on a fucking lifeboat like a coward.
Literally the biggest coward. The biggest coward in this movie for sure. Not to mention though, and I hate to say this, but Billy Zane is so hot as Cal that it like makes me just rage. It's like I'm attracted to him, but I'm like hating him so much. I don't know.
He's a hate fuck if I've ever seen one.
Oh, exactly. All right, so next we have Molly Brown.
The unsinkable Molly Brown, that is.
The queen and legend.
Ooh.
Real life person, Molly Brown.
What's the matter with you? It's your men out there. There's plenty of room for more.
She ate the Titanic right the fuck up.
She ate all of them right the fuck up. The staff, the rich people who thought they were better than everyone else.
Yeah, Molly is really a guiding force in Jack and Rose's story. I feel like without Molly, Jack really wouldn't have been able to get with Rose because she's the one who offered him her son's suit.
She's kind of like guiding the conversation along while they're at dinner to try to like help them become more comfortable with the situation, and she's a pure soul.
I think that Molly Brown deserves to be in the Holy Trinity.
So next we have Rose's mother, Ruth.
Tell us of the accommodations and steerage, Mr. Dawson. I hear they're quite good on this ship.
Ruth
is tough because she obviously cares a lot about Rose and wants what's best for her. You know, she's trying to kind of pressure Rose into marrying Cal so that they will all be taken care of, which, like, as a mom, you know, I kind of understand that. But she was also pressuring Rose to be, you know, settling into a marriage that she wanted no part of. Like, she didn't care what Rose wanted.
It's tough because if Rose is willing to just say goodbye, mother, and never see her mom again, I think
that says a lot.
Yeah, I kind of want to put her mom in not our fave.
Yeah, I was thinking not our fave as well.
Next up, we have Brock Lovett, who actually like discovers the Titanic and takes Rose back to the watery grave.
He's kind of the reason that all of this takes place in present day. I mean, he is the reason, really.
So we're gonna go ahead and put him in No Choice But to Stand.
Brock is a little cutie pie. He's just a little treasure hunter who is looking for the Titanic, which I definitely understand why he's obsessed. You know, he's nice to sweet little Rose. The way that he treats her is very kind of like delicate and like it's very sweet. All right, so next we have Captain Smith.
But I will go down with this ship.
Do we blame Captain Smith for the Titanic going down? I don't think you can fully put the blame on him, even though he does blame himself. He locks himself in his captain's quarters and drowns himself. It
goes down with the ship.
Sad. I don't want to say he's not our fave. I don't think that he did anything that made me hate him. No. I feel like he slays.
Yeah, I agree.
He slays for going down with his ship.
I mean, yeah, we don't really know much about his personality, but he obviously felt very, very bad about this whole situation, and he was putting the blame on himself at the end of the day, so that's noble. I don't think we could really put him in No Choice But to Stand. I don't think that he really did enough for us to stand him, so I think that slays is a good option for Mr. Smith.
Next up, we have Spencer Lovejoy. Loath entirely.
Loath entirely, no question about it.
Are you kidding? Did you watch the movie?
This is the man who framed Jack.
He's a supporter of Cal. Who wants that? Like, what a weird
like, your true colors are showing.
Awkward.
And they're not beautiful like a rainbow. I mean, what is there to say? He is mean. He is violent.
He's a prick.
He's aggressive. He supports a misogynist. He is trying to frame someone for thievery. He is content to let someone drown at the bottom of the boat.
Yeah. Fuck him.
What else is there to say? Bye.
Next up, we have Mr. Andrews.
Oh. I'm sorry that I didn't build you a stronger ship, young Rose.
So, of course, we can only base our judgment of these characters on what the movie portrayed them as. We're not actually speaking on these people in real life.
No. This is just the movie characters.
Because only a handful of these characters actually existed. So, Mr. Thomas Andrews, played by Victor Garber, cutie. He's an honorable man. He is lovely. He is so sweet to Rose, and he's like a mentor to her once the ship starts sinking. But really, he's the one who designed the ship.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's the one to blame for not having enough lifeboats.
For cutting corners.
I feel like he was probably hasty trying to get this ship put together so that he could flaunt that he built this ship, because I feel like his whole character in the movie is just him talking about how great the ship is and how he's the one who's responsible, and I feel like he should be the one responsible for there not being enough lifeboats. If he's not, someone correct me, because I'm just curious.
However, in the movie, I just love Victor Garber, and
he's so nice.
Sad watching him go down with the ship.
I would say at least slays.
He slays.
Because to me, I could even stand, except that, I mean, to me, it's the cutting corners. It's the not enough lifeboats that I feel like he slays.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Bruce in not our fave. Bruce is selfish. He gets on a lifeboat when someone else could have taken that spot. He didn't deserve to live.
No, he really didn't.
He actually received harsh criticism for rescuing himself in such a way.
In real life.
In real life. So he's not my fave.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, he's not on like Cal levels of terrible, but he's not a good person at all. Next, we have Lizzie, aka Rose's granddaughter.
What is it? Turn that up, dear.
I stand.
I stand. She came in, she said hi to Grandma. She went through a moment with her.
Brock and Lizzie have great chemistry together when they are just chit-chatting. When Miss Rose is standing off the back of the boat throwing the heart of the ocean into the water. I think that Lizzie is just such a great supportive character for Rose.
Yeah.
And
I would have liked to see more of Lizzie.
yeah, I mean, they could have put some more Lizzie in.
I can only imagine, like, Rose's kids. I feel like Rose was such a great mom.
Yeah.
Even though, and maybe she did love her husband. I'm just purely speculating, but, you know, obviously her heart was with Jack, but I feel like she was still probably able to be a great mom to the kids of whoever she ended up marrying.
Oh my god, that is so sad.
Think about this stuff a lot.
Did she name any of her kids Jack?
Of course, I'm positive that one of her kids is named Jack. Speaking of tragic people who died,
Oh my god.
next we have Fabrizio.
Fabrizio!
No choice but to stand.
Yeah, he's just such a little cutie. A little free spirit cutie.
Him and Jack win their tickets in a game of poker, I think it was. Unfortunately, Fabrizio is crushed by a smokestack in the water, and my soul was crushed with him.
Literally.
So, next up we have Tommy, who literally just stole my heart. No choice but to stand.
For God's sake, man, there are women and children down here! Let us up so we can have a chance!
He punches an orderly in the face. That's all I need to say. Okay.
Tommy came, he did what he had to do. He said, fuck everyone.
Tragic death.
It's so sad.
Murdoch shoots and kills him.
It really is just like such a sad moment.
And he literally didn't even do anything. He's pushed into the crowd, and then he's shot by Murdoch, and that is why Murdoch is going in.
Loath entirely.
Honestly, Loath entirely. Like,
Bye. Although if you think about it, in the long run, it probably was better for Tommy to get shot than drown to death or
That's true.
have, something crush him.
yeah, he would have
Or
just frozen.
freeze.
He would have frozen. To
You know what I
death.
mean? So I feel like he did get lucky in the long run, but that doesn't make it any less tragic. And it doesn't make Murdoch any less of a piece of shit.
Well, Murdoch then unalives himself right there from the immense pressure of guilt. He probably thought he was going to die, so he just did it himself.
I mean, can't blame him necessarily. Yeah. And it's sad, like, he obviously didn't mean to kill Tommy, but, like, he shouldn't have been firing a gun into...
There was no reason to shoot anyone.
No. Especially considering what's happening right now. Like, there's enough going on without you, like, openly firing a gun into a crowd.
Yeah. Next up, we have Officer Lowe, and I'm gonna say... honestly, no choice but to stand, because he literally is the reason Rose lives.
Yeah.
Well, keep checking them! Keep looking!
Oh, yeah.
He is very adamant about going back and rescuing people from the water, and Rose is one of those people, and if not, for him, she would have died.
Yeah, no, I feel like he really is, him and Jack are the reasons that Rose survives, plus Rose herself, she should get some credit as well. But yeah, I definitely stand this dude. He went out there, I feel like everyone else kind of wanted to turn around and be like, oh, they're dead, like, sorry, let's move on, and he was like, no, we need to go, like, make sure that at least someone isn't alive, like, he's a king.
He's a king. Next up, we have Officer Lightoller, and I'm going to say that he slays because he is the person who implemented the women and children first onto the lifeboat, so he actually is the reason many women and children did make it onto the boats, so he slays. I don't think that I stan him necessarily because he is kind of a dick in some of the scenes.
Yeah, I think that he's fine. Obviously very thankful that he took care of the women and children because probably a lot of people in his position would not have.
Yeah, and he had to take over once Murdoch was no longer living.
And he stepped up and did what he had to do, but I don't think I stan.
No.
Okay, so next we have Wallace Hartley, who we're using him to represent the whole orchestra. I say stan.
Gentlemen, it has been a privilege playing with you tonight.
I stand.
He was just trying to give them good music. He was playing the night before.
We stand. Next up, we have Jack's girl, Cora.
You're still my best girl, Cora.
And we stand.
Yes, we do.
We stand. She is such a cutie. She really doesn't get much to do in this movie, but her energy is so bright and fantastic, and I love her.
I feel like she stands out in this movie because she is one of the few just like innocent and sweet things about, you know, this movie. So I feel like that's why people remember her. But she's one of the first things I think of when I think about this movie.
Oh my god, her face.
I see her little face in my head.
Her face at the end when Rose is meeting Jack at the staircase. She is so happy and thrilled to be there. I'm just like, bitch,
I wish you would
please.
stop talking about this.
The ghosts of Titanic haunt me.
I'm not crying right now. Thinking about Cora.
Next up, we have an orderly, and this is the orderly that Rose punches in the face. However, this orderly is actually representative of every orderly because they all sucked. Okay. They weren't helping anyone. They were nuisances, and they literally locked people down in the bottom of the ship and let them die.
That's what I was gonna, like, they only cared about the people who were rich. They didn't give a fuck about anyone. Like, any of the, like, not first-class passengers, the orderlies did not care about them. They treated them like garbage, and I hate them all.
And that's why we loathe them entirely.
Next. Oh, this is just too much.
This is the Irish mommy.
And so they lived happily together for 300 years.
Oh.
And I think that she can
Irish
actually be
mommy.
representative of the other mothers that we see in the film who are trying to comfort their children as the ship is going down, knowing that they're about to die. I say that she slays.
Yeah.
Do I think that they could have gotten onto a lifeboat or maybe held on until the ship went down? Yes.
Yeah,
Did
she didn't
lock
try.
them in a room and let them drown? Mm-hmm. She did it kindly.
She told them a story
She
while
told them
they
a story and
died.
put them to sleep so they could drown in their dreams. But she slays for it, okay?
That part makes me really sad too. And speaking of things that make me sad,
Oh my god. We have Ida and Isidor Strauss. I'm gonna say they slay.
yeah,
There's not much to their characters. However, they were the co-owners of Macy's, and they literally went down with the ship. This scene of them holding onto each other as their room floods is truly traumatic, and I think about it often.
me too. It's very touching, but also haunting,
Yeah.
which is what you could say for most of this movie, I think.
And you know what? There are so many things that we wanted to put into these characters. We wanted to have the Titanic as a character. We wanted to have the score as its own character.
It is. It really is.
But then there's so many characters actually that we kind of just like cut it down.
We didn't
to
want this
the
video to
bare
be
minimum.
a million hours.
But one inanimate object got a character, and that is the heart of the ocean.
My first thought is like Holy Trinity,
Oh.
honestly. Like, imagine if it's like Jack, Rose, and the amulet.
You know what?
Just put it up there for now, and then we'll discuss, because I'm not sold on that, but it could be stunning love. Okay, so now we are going to go back in the tiers and rank all of the characters within their individual tiers, starting at the very bottom, the scum of the tiers streets, all the way to number 1, the holiest of all.
Okay.
This is gonna be interesting, I think.
So I'm gonna go ahead and assume we are gonna put Cal
Dead
at
last.
the very bottom, and
Burn.
then next can be Lovejoy.
Yes. 2 of a kind. You want to suck each other's dicks? Here you go. Do it at the bottom of the tiers,
Do it, bitch. Do it at the bottom of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
And breathe deep. I think the orderlies can stay where they are because they literally lock people in the bottom of the fucking ship as it's sinking and they don't let them out.
Yeah.
And they complain about it.
Yeah. It's like, how many times does an orderly try to stop Jack and Rose? Like, I understand that the orderlies are trying to stop them because, you know, the fucking boat is flooding or whatever. But they're not stopping them because they're concerned about their safety. They're stopping them because they're not supposed to go down there and they want to assert their power.
Well, they're stopping them because they're third class.
Well, and that too.
They're stopping the people who are poor from living, which sounds like America, maybe.
It sounds like a reason that you're going to be at the bottom of my fucking tier list.
Sounds
so,
familiar.
yeah. And then Murdoch.
Murdoch, I feel like, was a good man who made a wrong move.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry about it. I think for not our fave, we can leave Bruce there.
Yeah.
Poor Ruth. I feel like Ruth went the rest of her life thinking that her daughter died in the Titanic.
Yeah. Oh, she definitely did. And they're both probably better off for it.
Probably.
Okay. So this one's a little trickier.
So I think we can put the Irish mommy last because she locks her kids in a room and lets them drown.
Yeah. And yeah, that's true.
She didn't have a choice. A lot of these people did not have the choice to live.
It's just like you don't know because some people did get away. So, but it's like she doesn't know. So maybe she thought that this would be better than like a propeller falling on them or something, or them like drowning. But it's still kind of a questionable decision to me.
I would probably say we can put... I think we can leave the Strausses where they are.
I agree. I would put Captain Smith next.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I think that he... And then, yeah, I think that's right to me.
Okay. This is a little tough, okay?
I love all of these characters. I don't even know, like, any of them could go in any order in this tier, I feel like.
I am thinking we can put...
No, I think put Tommy last.
I'm just thinking who has the least screen time.
Tommy.
Tommy can go last.
He doesn't really have an impact on this movie. I'm sorry, Tommy, but...
He punches an orderly in the face. He makes sure that some of the third-class passengers make it out of the bottom of the ship.
You're right. Okay, so then... Okay, you're right. So then let's... Honestly, I feel like we have to put the orchestra last.
What?
Well, what are we gonna do?
I think that we need to put...
Fine, put the bitch last. Who cares?
Not last, just...
Well, I'm saying who's last. Because now I don't know that Tommy goes last.
I think Cora can go last.
That's fucking sad. Are you sure?
No, okay.
No!
We can leave... Let's put Light Toller last.
Okay, oh, yes.
And then Tommy. And then Cora. I'm gonna put...
I honestly think you could even put Rose's granddaughter after Cora.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. And then...
I think Fabrizio can go right underneath the orchestra.
I was gonna put the orchestra after Cora. This is the right choice.
I'm just thinking about how iconic the orchestra is and how they literally are the entire score of the movie, for the most part. Whereas Cora is just Jack's girl for, like, 1 minute.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. Fine. That's fine. Okay, so you can switch them back.
Okay. But I think that Fabrizio can stay where he is.
Yeah, and then, yeah, okay.
And then Brock.
Okay.
It's a little tricky because we're only allowing 3 people into the Holy Trinity, and we have 5 people here, so...
I mean, and obviously Jack and Rose are obvious, so it's like, who gets the 3rd spot?
I think that my instinct is to first move older Rose down to no choice but to stand. Because we already have Rose here.
I would put Rose in the Holy Trinity over Molly. Well,
She drops the heart of the ocean into the ocean.
Exactly, because that's her and Jack's thing that she doesn't want to share with anyone else. This whole movie is her.
Let's put this...
I'm between them. I want to move Molly to the bottom. I feel like it has to be the amulet.
I'm just going to move Rose like I originally said.
Fine. I think that this is a good Holy
What
Trinity.
do you mean fine?
Because I want them both.
I'm set in my ways. He can't make up his mind. So we're going to say that Rose, Jack, and the Heart of the Ocean are the Holy Trinity.
I think that's fine. Because the Heart of the Ocean really is kind of what binds them. I think that's fair.
That was tough. So we're saying that Rose is number 1, of course.
Yeah, oh,
Young
absolutely.
Rose,
Yeah, this is the order. No, Rose is number 1. This is Rose's movie. It is. That was fun.
It was fun. I love Titanic. I want to watch it again.
Oh my god, we just watched it. Let's go watch it again. You know, I have 3 hours to spare. It's fine.
You know who deserved a spot on this? Celine Dion.
That song is Titanic. Like that, it really is like, oh my god. And then just like the instrumental version of that song that plays throughout the movie, like the theme is sickeningly emotional.
And that is why it won Best Score.
Oh.
Sweetie.
Yeah. And that's why Celine won, Best Song.
Down in the comments below, let us know what you thought of our tier ranking of Titanic 1997. We want to know your thoughts. What do you think of our Holy Trinity tier?
Yeah, I want to know, did y'all like it? Should we consider switching it up and trying something different? I don't know. I thought it was fun. As always, make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes,
also, go follow us on social media, bitch, at Petty Pumpkins. Thank you all so very much for watching.
We love y'all.
Stay spooky.
Hell's under new management now.
I like my pumpkin spice lattes extra hot.
I am going to eat your soul.
Sorry, I'm not into short guys.